are trying to do what the men are doing. Basically, that's what basically they can't do what some men are doing to women. So they want to keep competing. You have a lot of women that I'm sorry that went out um, that have this mindset like Cynthia G. And I mean both, but the whole point about a relationship, no one not even think about it in it is just that what about if you have children? What impact are you making on the boys and the girls who's witnessing all this stuff? You know, if you're single, it's one thing, but what if you have children from single mothers who's doing the same thing? This ratchetness. But Lori Harvey don't have no children, so she don't have about that. But it's good to kind of settle down because as a woman, you like a man, which is equally both, you're both establishing soul ties. And whatever the soul ties will open up a door for destruction in your life. It will open up a door for diseases. It would open a door for a curse of poverty. It opens up the door for mental health status because you're taking in all the past lovers of this person, and no one is addressing this. This is all about ego, and what is wrong for either side to do it. But there's certain points he was making was good, and but there's certain things I agree, there's certain things I don't agree. But overall, what is the gain as a community of people? What is the gain when you put down each other? And it's the reason why some men and some women in the black community, that's why at masses are not going to come together. Because when you have two people with too high egos and pride, this is what's going to happen. Instead of just saying, hey, one have to examine what about the future. So that's what I'm thinking. But it's sad because one day when you stand before the King and Lords, what all this stuff is going to be nonsense. What you do it? He never designed a relationship to be like that, and courting and dating, and potential going out there. This is what's wrong with our Western culture, and this is why neither one of these other cultures, or some of them, don't want to get with us because when they see the spew is spreading out over the internet, we have it. It makes black men and black women have to see from other different angles. You're not really being responsible, and your mentality is about not being subtle, about just pimping men or pimping women or whether pimping playing. At the end of the day, you're wounding somebody, and you're not taking accountability for what you do, what your actions do. And so, that's you're only hurting yourself, and you prolonging yourself to be lonely for the rest of your life with that kind of mentality on both sides of the sexes. Trying to dominate whatever and trying to it's crazy. And that there's nobody being set the example, a balanced example, whether it's on the man or woman's side. Some people are gonna be single because of their mentality and way they view life. Yeah, they could. They can get many mates, but who wants to settle down with somebody after you didn't ran through all these different individuals? You know, who wants to mate like that? Whether it's a man or woman, because you're gonna have to do a lot of internal healing. Because whatever you've done is gonna come out on the person with the opposite sex. They have to be a victim of whatever it is you put out. And this is what I don't hear on either side of the argument. But what I disagree with Cynthia G was is just that she have a right to have an opinion, but she's so narrow minded. She's very now. I think she's been hurt and she's been wounded, and maybe she come across the same kind of men, black men, but there are black men that are not like that. But it's all about. It's like it's about dominance and fighting and control. It's not about healing and building up the community and being on one accord with one another. It's not about dominating one or the other. It's that it should be having a loving, committed relationship and fall in line and wanting to be a potential mate for somebody, not just because you can dominate and show how much experience you have at being in the bedroom or how many women you can get or how many men you can get. This is the problem with our society here in America, and it looks flawless in other cultures. It really does. It seemed kind of in most cultures this don't happen. It would be looked down upon. Get like something wrong with you. Plus the elders in your in them other communities of people, no matter what community people you go to, when they say you do that, they get on their young men and young women about that. Say, hey, you need to settle down. Stop this nonsense. You know, because some man or uncle or aunt or somebody will put it in check, and that's what it is. And we don't have people in our culture that do that. There's very few people, and then when they do, they don't really listen because they think by achieving this, you know, and it's a learned behavior that we have, and that's why we're not getting together as a community of people. There's no moral and there's no standard. That's why there's a struggle out of out of birth, wedlock, and everything, and it's a curse. It's a curse that's going to continue until you understand that intellectually it's not cool, and it's a bunch of what it is, ladies and gentlemen, and it's like what Bishop Gather says. How can two broken people try to so you have a lot of broken men and you have a lot of broken women. That's what it is. There's broken people trying to, and Cynthia G is broken, and some men out there are broken. You know, if you want to settle, but if you want to settle, but the whole goal is to settle down, because you're gonna get tired as a man, or if it's a woman doing it, you're gonna get tired of trying to deal with dating, correspond with every person, and be in a relationship with every person, go from man and man, or you're a man going from woman to woman to woman to woman. It gets tiresome after a while. It really does, because you emotionally, each time you laying with the person and you interacting with the person, you mentally you're engaging, and relationships are built up from that relationship. So yeah, I just only can watch it some minute that, but there were some points, good and bad points in the video and on this channel. But the whole goal is to keep a relationship and understand what it but not to be the Mac Daddy and player, because time is winding up. You know, and one thing I learned, you don't want to die one day and look back and saying, man, you could have a successful relationship like your certain friends around you, family members around you, and you end up alone because you haven't matured and mentally mature, spiritually mature enough. That's what it should be about. And so she is wrong to a certain degree, he is wrong, but to a certain degree he's right, but to a certain degree he's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Certain things he was right on, and it's certain things, but overall, the whole thing should be settle down. Stop going through all these different women, because when you're going through all these different women as a man, or a woman going through all these different men as a woman, you're tied in soul ties with somebody that is broken. They're broken people. There's a lot of broken men and a lot of broken women, and that's why they haven't succeeded in their relationships. And sometimes it could be go back because they were rejected as because their parents rejected them, the father rejected the daughter, the mother rejected the son, whatever it is. But you need to get healed broken and talk to somebody is in a successful relationship. Don't get to somebody that haven't been into a successful relationship because that's the goal. You ain't really, as a man or woman, you ain't missing nothing out here dating a whole bunch of partners because you're not dealing with the individual. It's the 5,000 demonic spirits you're dealing with. Every person you come across, you're dealing with whatever you soul tied with. That's what you soul tithing with. All these different people and their personalities and everything and their family backgrounds. See, someone is not pointing the whole thing and like, why is I keep coming across all these messed up individuals? Is because we never take it as men and women. We don't take the time out, and that goes for celebrities, and that goes for someone who have money and who don't hardly have no money, and that's the truth. That's real talk. And if you're gonna come as a community, both black men and black women had to come to agreement on that. Is fault on both sides. It's your way of thinking. It's the way the mindset is. If you don't have a certain mindset, it's gonna affect the next generation around you. So that's why you're not coming together and you're arguing and bickering over stuff that's just over even some dysfunction even playing out in celebrity because there's a lot of broken people. That's what it is. There are people who are broken that shouldn't be together. That's why. And sometimes it's good to date, but it ain't good to sleep with everybody. Everybody ain't meant not for me to take into their bed, their altar, their bed, and lay down and consummate a relationship. So that's my commentary on that video, and it was too much. I'm sorry about the graphic language and everything, but hey, it is what it is. So I probably have to put a warning. It's definitely not for something for you to be sitting around your child listening to something like that. But yeah, that's what's wrong with society. They can't seem to get it together, the men or the women. So I hope you enjoy this video, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, you guys take it easy. You guys be blessed and take care. And by the way, that was fair use of video when he said share it, but I just want to put in my commentary on it. It was on a live stream. The guy's channel is Red Supreme. Like I said, he made some good points, but at some points, it's a good balance. But yeah, Jason Black, he's the Black Authority. Yeah, he was right on that one. She came to this channel and argued with him intellectually, and the name calling that just make her look really bad. I'm sorry. It made her look really bad. That's why she's being mocked and they're cracking on her about her head and everything, because she opened up that Pandora's box. So hey, when you do something like that, you open up the door.